everyone was very kind and very open, very community oriented, and I felt very comfortable the moment I walked in.
And everybody just seemed very relaxed and at home. That was the people who work here and the people who are here because they need to be.
Yes, I grew up in Burlington. I'd been in the hospital, been a patient, had family members as patients. So it was actually nice seeing people that I had remembered from at that time, like other staff members and that were still here.
I did the theory and then a training lab. 10 successful IV starts, boom, 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 one after another. My husband and kids were picking me up after work, and it was Christmas. I had missed Christmas, but I was all bubbling with excitement. Guess what? I started an IV today, and they're looking at me like, it is exciting to learn new skills and just grow in your experience as a nurse.
Let's see. My last two children were born here, so that's a start. Those are, you know, far and away the most memorable things in anybody's life is when their kids are born. But I've had 3 surgeries here, so you know, I recommend it to all my friends. Come and have surgery at Joseph Brant. I can play hockey again.
A specific patient that had been here a long time and had a major crush on a Canadian country music star who happened to be putting out a perfume at that time. At the end of my shift one day, I had to stop in at a drugstore, and they had all these posters, you know, things to do with this promotion of this perfume. So I just happened to ask one of the ladies behind the counter, what do you do with these things when you're done? And she said, oh, they just go in the garbage. And I said, well, I have somebody, you know, that I know that would absolutely love to have a few of these, you know, hanging in their hospital room. I said it would just make his day. And she came up with a box load of stuff for me. So I brought him in the next day and I decorated his room, and you couldn't wipe the grin off his face. It made it worthwhile just to see that smile on his face.
I had a patient come up. She's being wheeled up in the stretcher. She sits up on the stretcher. She looks at me. Are you Elizabeth? Yeah. You were with my husband when he died, and I've never forgotten. So she ended up being my patient. And every time she's there, she makes such a big fuss about it. Her kids come in, other family members, this is Elizabeth. She wouldn't leave him alone when he was dying. He didn't die alone, even though I couldn't get there in time. He didn't die alone.
Okay, I was involved in Meditech, bringing in Meditech and getting that organized. I've been at every upgrade in the last 35 years. Before Meditech, I was even here when it was a card veyor, that every patient was a piece of a card that was filed, and it was a little button that went around and you could pick up a card. So you can see I've seen a great transition there too, from paper to electronic documentation.
I personally have had some big changes in the hospital because I haven't stayed in one department, which it's scary sometimes starting something new, but I think it's excellent for growth. It's the patient that I'm there for. And when I know I've made an impact, I've done my job. It's worth doing.
Personally, I just think it's a wonderful place to work. I feel privileged to have a job at Joseph Brant. My staff is absolutely wonderful. They're all team players. My management is above all caring. They're just a wonderful group, and I just really appreciate all of them.
Learned. When you're trained, you know, to do 10 sorts of things. And if you only do one of those things for the rest of your career, you can get rusty at those other things that are, you know, important skills. At Joseph Brant, it's just the right size for someone like me. And there are several people exactly like me with the same skill sets. And we do a mixture of things. We do invasive procedures, and we do them with a smile. We have great help from our team. We also do sort of the non-invasive or sort of bulk work of, you know, getting the community's images read and diagnoses made. And Joseph Brant was just exactly the right fit for somebody like me who can't do, you know, sort of put all your work eggs in one basket.
The chance to be able to make somebody smile at one of their, you know, lowest points, somebody's not well, and just make them smile, do something, you know, doesn't cost you anything, you know, to just brighten their day a little bit. It makes a world of difference.
Just be open, be honest, be friendly, and everyone else will respond to you. A smile goes a long way, and a hello. And if you reach out, they'll reach out to you, and you'll enjoy your career here and always be open to new challenges.
Atmosphere. Everybody has each other's backs. We all help each other out, and we are multidisciplinary in the sense that we all take advice and cues from each other.
Ask questions. Don't hesitate. People were very helpful, very friendly. Give it your all because it's so worthwhile in the end.
And the one thing when you get overwhelmed with tasks and lists of things to do and pressures, I try to keep in mind for myself and also remind people. Number one thing is always you're here to take care of the patients. And if you keep that in mind, your career can be very rewarding